Okay, block all points. It's the last drill. Basically, what this drill teaches is how to transition between top moves. This is for the top guy, totally, 100%. Okay, so you always start just like we started in last drill, in referee's position, and then you chop and drive the guy down, and you bring him to his belly. So chop and drive, bring him to his belly, and then home base, Jose is going to get the parallel ride. And let me kind of circle behind here so you see what he's got. He's got his toes inside, his knees outside, but his knees are pushing in, his toes are pushing out, and then he's driving under the elbows to keep Johnny down. Now, I emphasize this is home base. This is where you start. You don't stay there for very long, because as we all know, if you stay there for any longer than 5 or 10 seconds, you're going to get dinged for stalling, especially if it's later in the match and you're ahead by 1 or 2 points. So basically, the idea here is you get to home base, and then you get what you're looking for, and you get out. Okay, so there's 4 different things. Number 1 is getting the near wrist ride. So Jose is going to come in, he's going to grab that wrist, keep it out. And what Jose is going to do is he's actually going to, with his shoulder, he's going to drive Johnny's shoulder forward over the wrist. So he drives forward, and he comes off the parallel ride, comes off the parallel, the other side, and then he's driving his shoulder into Johnny, and he's got his forehead on the tricep, and his hand is going to be by Johnny's leg, and he's keeping him from building a base. So the forehead keeps Johnny from posting, and then the hand keeps Johnny from bringing that knee up, because he's got to do both to build his base. And then he's on his toes, and he's putting pressure straight down, driving in, just like we did for the near wrist ride. So Johnny tries to base up, and he's just keeping Johnny down. He's just keeping Johnny down all day long. Okay? Now again, let's say that Johnny's able to build up a base. Go ahead and build your base up. What Jose is going to do, just like I did with the last drill, is that left hand, he's going to come under the butt. Come under the butt, he's going to thread the ankle, and then he's going to get on his toes, and he's going to pull Johnny back down. Right there. Johnny, go ahead and go up to your base one more time. What he doesn't want to do is try to come over the hip and grab, because that's where Johnny's strong. Johnny's got his whole hip fighting now. He's not going to go down. But he's really weak if Jose comes under and grabs that. Now we'll go down. Okay, so the goal for number 1, point number 1, is keeping Johnny down in the near wrist. Okay, now, if you want to do something else other than hold the guy down, you need to bring this wrist out. So how we do that, Jose, come over here, is I'm going to maintain the pressure with my shoulder, and then I'm going to yank this wrist out, be on my toes, I'm going to yank the wrist out right here, and then I'm going to put it on his back. Okay, now there's a bunch of turns you can do from here. One that I kind of like to do is I'm not going to go into detail on this, but you can do this sort of turn. You can hold it like that. There's getting on top. You okay? Yeah. And then turning him here. Although you got to be really careful with this. We'll rip Johnny's arm off his socket. You can turn him like that. A lot of things you can do, but for this drill, basically you're going to try to keep him down, keep him from basing up, and then you can bring the wrist out and bring it to the hammer lock if you want. That's pretty much as far as you can take it. Okay, number 2 is I'm going to go back to home base. Let's say that near wrist isn't available. So I'm coming out here, I'm coming in, I can't get the wrist. So what do I do then? Well, I'm going to bring this forearm right across his nose, grab his tricep, right here. So this one's me. I can't wind back and of course do it that way, but I'm coming short, but I'm doing it hard. Locking here, and then my shoulder is just going to push into his ear. I'm going to come off the parallel ride, and then I'm going to do what's called a butcher or a barbed wire. Okay, there's a couple different ways you can do this. First way is I'm just going to crunch, shoulder's going to come into his ear, I'm going to pull this tricep, keep circling, keep circling, keep circling, keep circling, keep circling. And then I come on top of him like this. I'm on my toes. I got both of his arms. I'm getting my turn. One more time. He's not giving me that near wrist, so I'm going to come across right here, block that tricep, pull up my shoulder, pressure, 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 keep this arm, and then get my turn. Second way, this is the way that I actually prefer doing it, is come here, boom, same way, start the same way. But once I get to here, I'm actually, this around, bring the camera around. I'm actually going to come under the arm, the other arm right here. So come under this arm, grab it, sit out. And now I got him on his back. Okay? So that's option number 2 from the crossface. Option number 3 is a crossface cradle. So he's not giving me that wrist. Come across here. I don't want to do the barbed wire or the butcher because it's boring, or I don't, for one reason or another. Take this other hand. Come around here, Jose. So you see. Take this other hand. Post it between the legs and bring my hands together. Crossface cradle. Right here. So you get hip to hip and you know how to turn it. Okay, just like this. So you got 3 options for number 2. You've got 2 different ways to the barbed wire, and then you've got 2 different, or one different way to finish up the crossface cradle. So number 1, your wrist ride. Number 2, crossface. Let's say he's not giving you that, but he posts here, posts like he's trying to base up. Well, I'm going to go elbow crease. This is number 3, elbow crease to elbow crease. This part of my elbow, this part of his elbow. I'm not just going to grab, coming in deep, just like this, and then I'm going to pull the elbow to my rib cage. And I got my chicken wing. And then we can turn the chicken wing. Most guys know how to, most coaches know how to do that, but just real briefly, I'm going to come off the parallel ride to the side. The elbow is going to go right in the middle of my chest. Grab the far wrist, sink my hips down, and then I'm going to drive his ear to his shoulder and walk around. I'm not just going to let him poke this arm out and try to turn him like this. That's how I get turned. That's how I get reversed. Rather, keep this elbow in the center of my chest, drive his shoulder to his ear. That's how I turn him. Right here. And then I can slowly but surely walk around, keep the pressure. Right here. There's a couple different ways you can finish. You can come all the way around. You can, sit out. There's a lot of different ways to turn a chicken wing. But those are the key things that I want you to keep in mind when you're coaching it. Make sure that you've got that elbow in the center of the chest and this shoulder's driving this way. Okay, so just one more time. I'm not even going to grab the inside wrist. I'm just going to do it real briefly. Right here. And then from here, there's several different ways to finish up. But as long as you get this right, this is what I'm looking for. Okay, so that's number 3. And then number 4 is a leg ride. So I go back to home base. You got to come over here, Jose. So let's say that I'm messing around up in his upper body. He's forgetting his legs. So what I do is while I'm messing around up here, I'm going to come off, and this inside leg, the heel is going to hook the shin. And I'm going to start working up. And once I get the heel above his knee, I lift. Then my outside leg comes in, and then I'm going to get the figure 4. I let go, and then I put my shoelaces right on the back of my knee, right here. Okay? So I got my figure 4. And then how we turn it from here is my knee is going to be out. I'm going to be really high up on his leg. I don't want to be below the knee. I want to be high on the thigh as possible. And then I'm going to bring my hips back. I'm going to arch really hard, like I'm trying to break these 2 cords in his back. And then I'm just going to cross face him over this direction. So I got the pressure. Let the pressure off for just a split second because I'm loading my hips up. Load my hips, and then arch in. Here. crossface. I'm not down like this and being lazy. I'm up. Got his head like a football. Getting backwards. And one more time. On the top. I got in my home base position. Only here for a couple seconds though. Messing around, distracting him. Inside leg's gonna hook the shin. It's gonna crawl up, 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 up. Once I get to the right above the knee, I lift, come in, I switch, get to figure 4. This knee is poking out. I don't want this knee in because that lets off pressure. Now I got the knee out and I am off my toe. My leg, both of my feet are off the ground. Arch back just a second, and then in, go this way, cross face, dive out, get my back points. Right here. Alright? So, the deal here is I am moving through all 4 of these. It's all points. And whatever he gives me, that's the move that I do. And the goal in this drill is to put all 4 of those together. You know, you're supposed to drill them in isolation for a while, but after a few times, get them used to transitioning between those. Have the bottom guy just give the top guy a different look or a different angle every time, so that I've got to get used to, okay, this one's not working, I got to go to this one, I got to go to this one. I'm transitioning between all the moves. So I'm going to start number 1, come in here, grab the palm near wrist ride, drive it over, block my points, keep them from basing up, and then I'll go back and I'll switch to number 2, I'll let him go. Now that near wrist isn't available, I can't get it, so I'm going to come here, get my barbed wire. Okay, so that's number 2, let him go. Let's do number 3 this time. I'm going to post up right here, elbow creased, suck back, get the elbow to my rib cage, start getting the chicken wing turn. For the purpose of this drill, I'm just going to turn it halfway. Okay, fine, I got it. I'm going to let him go. And now I'm going to do number 4. I'm distracting him. I get the home base. I'm going to get the leg ride right here. And turn him. Okay, so move between 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now the really advanced, as I just kind of insinuated a little bit ago, is I'm not going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 in order. He's just going to give me a different look every time. And I react and do the move based on what he's doing. So Johnny, won't you do that this time? Just give me a different look, okay? Alright, he gave me the wrist right that time. He was being really slow. So now it's available. Okay, so he gave me number 3 that time. I'm going to come back. The wrist's not available now. So I come here. I can do the crossface on either side. I'm doing it this side this time. Okay? So I did number 2. He might go back to number 3 or give me number 1 again, and, you know, or he's giving me number 2 again. Or I can work into a leg ride, you know. You just work between 1, 2, 3, and 4 and get used to kind of judging his reaction. That's the most advanced stage of the drill, and that's where you need to go. So this one again is called block all points, and the purpose is to get the top guy good at transitioning between series of moves.